Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and proceed with the agenda items. The purpose again, on why we're here. Like what MC stated, welcome to Farmington. And we'd like to thank San Juan College for working with Navajo Nation. The other university that we work with, or colleges that we work with real good, is Gallup Branch. Gallup Branch on Genova, and then San Juan College. At the minimal charges, we used their conference room. So we'd like to thank San Juan College. Also, we'd like to thank for the chapter administration staff. Chapter official. Thank you for being here. And then also other guests that are here. All the way from Denver, Colorado. We have two guests that are here. Census 2010. The folks that ran those operations, they're here. They'll be providing information on census. I was hoping last week the Budget and Finance Committee would approve the Budget Instruction Manual. It's the last week. Today, in the Budget and Finance Committee is coming in today to set the branch's allocation. Last week it's we would have been probably doing the allocations for the departments and chapters. And what we was hoping was that we'll also help the chapters in one of the breakout. At least start on their budget and then maybe finish their budget today. It's in there, but it didn't happen. But nonetheless, there's a breakout here on budget. When we talk technology, on the outside, they really started talking technology maybe 10 years ago. Although here in Indian country, probably a couple of years, 3, 4 at the most, we started using technology a lot. Who's all on Facebook? Yeah, that's technology. Sometimes I go through Facebook and just to read and see what other folks are doing. You keep track of your some people. So it's a tool. So Facebook is no different than what we'll be talking about today. It's all about communication. Technology is all about improving your communication. Actually, we don't have time to make those calls. Even our telephone landline ended. It's starting to go out of business, right? I went to Gallup to one of those then they asked me, do you have a home phone? Then I said, no. I think nobody has a home phone. Everybody has cell phone. Well, we can't give you loans for that. So even that, those are getting obsolete. Your own home phone are getting obsolete. To me, why do you pay for a cell phone and then also a home phone? MC, they probably can afford it because he's a millionaire. So, cell phone, they sit there and they text, and they're very fast and on those small buttons. So that's where we're at right now. That's where we're at right now. On the outside, they're a little bit far advanced. Then again, once you master something, the very next day something comes out again. So when you say technology, it's changing every day. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I got a small laptop. Everybody used to look at me and say, "Oh man, that's a nice laptop. Where'd you get it?" People used to look at me. Now, when I take it out, they'll say, "What? There's all these iPads people take out." So I asked my staff. I said, "Hey, you need to upgrade me to an iPad." I'm sort of embarrassed to take out my small laptop. So, like I said, every day something different comes up. So we have to keep up with time. I brag about community development. I brag about the chapter made at the Windrock level. They don't do that. No, I brag about the chapter. I said they have a system, the file management system. When you ask a chapter for a file, they'll take it out. If you ask Windrock for a file, it's in the box somewhere behind us. I said the chapters are far advanced than a lot of these departments. So, I said the chapter can do a budget and send it to OMB within a couple of seconds. It'll be at y'all's office. I said here in Windrock we have to walk up to his office. And usually he's sitting behind a stack of file. Just Dominic, and then he'll say, just put it right there. Then more than likely it's going to get lost. But when technology, once you send something, you'll come back and say, I sent it to you on this date. I'll send it to you again. You just press another button. Rather than trying to Xerox another hard copy and taking it to him. So the chapter, again, you're at that stage and say, let me send you another one here. So it's all about communication. It's all about streamlining. We talk about streamlined government. Technology will help you streamline that government. On the transparency by it. Through the budget, your budget is posted on the win. And when I do presentations out there, I say, go to my budget and you see how much I make. You can go to my budget and look how much. So that's transparency. You don't have to go to chapter meetings. We encourage you to go to chapter meetings, but you can look online and look at the budget. So today, one of the exercise is hopefully everybody brought their balances, right? So in one of these breakout chapter idea, we're working on putting the balances. So you do a monthly, hopefully you're doing a monthly balance during your chapter meeting. Folks that are on MIP, you just press that button and everything comes out, right? Oh no, yes, I haven't tried it yet, but that's something that we all need to use. But if you're still on the Excel, the other spreadsheet, you probably sit there and do all your what you need to do. But if you have an accounting software that you just press that button, out comes your everything, your financial statement and all that. Last week at our oversight committee meeting, one of the question was that Title 26, is it working out there? A question that was posed to me. I sort of chuckled and said, yeah, I guess it works. So on the serious note, I said, 1776 was the time that the United States had something in place. And my question back to my committee is that, do we have a perfect government? It's almost 300 years. Although the state, that's almost 100 years. Do we have a perfect state government? Then to take it further down, do we have a perfect Winter Rock Central government? I said, the LGA, is it working? No, to me, I said, it's working. I said, the chapters are making steps out there. Some are falling down, we pick them back up, and they're making steps. You read it in the paper. I said, there's probably 100 chapters that are doing good. Very few, they make all the chapter look bad. So, I said, is it working? I said, go to a chapter that has MIP. They'll give you those financial statements. I said, come to Wonder Rock, ask Office of the Controller to run a balance using their FMIS. I said, they're probably a month behind. But using at the chapter, they're probably up to date. I said, that's how far they're at. I said, is it working? Yes. Then I said, I can name a lot more what's happening at the chapter. The other one that I mentioned is that it's streamlining a lot of these services at the chapter because we give them money. No longer do they come to Winter Rock with their paperwork and all that. They cut checks and all that. So streamline. So technology is all about streamlining. It's all about transparent. Also, cost cutting. For my division, putting all this in place cost me some money. But in the long run, it's saving you money. It's saving the Navajo Nation money. So when we say technology, it's about cost cutting. Cost cutting meaning you don't have to take your paperwork to Winter Rock. You need to use that, whatever, to send your information. So you save on travel, you save on time. It's all about information technology. It's all about information. I tell the chapter when they call me, or anybody when they call me for information, I said, I don't know. I said, I can Google it for you. I said, you can probably Google it yourself and get that information. So a lot of, 99% of what you're looking for, you can Google it. You can get that information. You can pretty much Google anybody. If you're online right now, you can put Arbin Mitchell, and then you'll probably come up with press releases and all that. That's Aggie. So I always tell folks, everything's in front of you. Everything's in front of you. I did a presentation down in Flagstaff at an emergency management conference. Who was all there? Just one? But anyway, there was over 167 people there. A lot of times, when there's an emergency that happens, they'll call me and say, "Hey, Arbin, how much money does that chapter have?" So I don't know. Can you find that out? Then I'll call you and say, "This is how much we have," or I'll call you back. So during the presentation that I did in Flagstaff, a short presentation, is that all the information is, you just log on to DCD. You go to ICIP, you get all the chapters inventory on there. I said, you can do a lot just sitting at your desk and getting those information. So a lot of tribe, there was four or five other tribes that were there. Also the state of Arizona. They were impressed with what we have at the chapter level. They're very impressed at what we have. The information that the chapter has. So today, tomorrow, is that, we need to reorientate you. Today and tomorrow, we're going to provide that training. Also, when I do talks like this on technology, I always refer back to the toolbox. I always say there's a toolbox that we gave you. Well, not just you need to use it. You need to use that toolbox. Open it. There's brand new tools in there. So some of these that I'll be mentioning, those are tools. So under the WIN system, the budget. We all know about the budget. You know about the budget. We've been doing this for a couple of years. Tomorrow, I'm going to run back to, not run back, but fly back to Window Rock. Budget and Finance Committee each year. So each year they'll determine what the allocations are for the branches. What I told them last week, and what I told the three branches is that stipend, it became law now. It got lost. So I said that has to be new money. Because if it's not new money, we have to get it from within the chapter's allocation. That's going to be less money for PEP, housing discretionary, and all that. If we don't add more money to it. So that's the reason why I want to go back, and they might say, Mr. Mitchell, that way I can say we need 2.2 million. Just so that we stay at that same level as last year. So in the budget breakout session, Ms. Holgate will sort of orientate you going through the budget. There's a few changes that happen, that's going to happen. Not major changes, but a few form change. But today, budget instruction manual, it'll become official. And we don't want to break it out today and then come to find out that they didn't approve the forms. So probably tomorrow, if Mr. Biel can give me a copy, then we can pass out and say these are the new forms. I think there's only one form that really changed, which is the top part. It's in it. So, but Ms. Hoge will cover that today on some of the changes. And then also in this breakout session in the budget, what have you experienced last year? What were some of the problems? That way we know what some of the issues are. One thing that we know is that I have an MOU with Mr. Bial again. This is all about streamlining. No longer will your chapter budget go to OMB. It'll stay at the LGSC, approved by LGSC. It'll still get to OMB. It'll still get to my office and then OMB. So we cut out 2 offices. So it'll stay at OMB and get approved, at LGSC. So it doesn't need to go all the way to my office and Mr. Bial. On the way at LGSC. So ASHA and the budget breakout session. The other one is the ICIP. You as staff, you need to update, if you haven't updated your ICIP. The ICIP is another tool. The first part, it talks about your strategic planning. Auto information like your inventory. Very important, inventory. Because a lot of time, they'll say, what's over at Wagner's chapter? If you did your inventory, I can say, they have a wharf wheel, a chapter house, swimming pool, and all that. That way, I don't have to call you. We can just log on and say, this is what they have. So those information is all about streamlining. That way we don't have to track you down. It's already there. So ICIP. Also, we use that for the CIP plan. What's your priority? But no, usually a chapter says, it really is a wish list, but usually things start out with a wish. Then it starts rolling from there. So, you keep your people, also the chapter in priority. Although the rule addressing, it's a new tool that we're trying to put together. On the outside, you can get those GPS. So you just press in your address and it'll take you there. And that's turn to your right, left. Now you'll get there. If we address the whole Navajo Nation, we don't have to say, go behind that hill, and then go this way and that way. We'll probably get there, but it's going to take time to get there. If it's an emergency, you need to get there right away. So DNON, it's another tool. Real file, we're still working on it, but orientation, we'll say this is where we're at, this is where we need to get to. One of my visions on real file is that you watch those high-tech movies and all that. They'll press a button, then there's a file cabinet, they pull out the drill, they get the file, attach it to your document, send it. That's my vision. That's my vision of you have it electronically. You just pick that file, attach it, and send it on its way. So that's where we need to go on the real file. You'll still have your hard copies, but also you'll have electronic. So that's one of the breakout. The new one that we just rolled out last week is SAS Tracker. It's on DCD Web, and you can log on and see where the SASs are. Auto project authorization, project tracking, we also need to finish that up. That way you can track your projects. Just log on and see where it's at. Auto mapping is probably another one. You know, I think we're at the stage where, you know, from a satellite you can zoom in and see what's on the ground at that time. So mapping, we need to do that mapping. So that's in the one system. Although the other breakout is your Google there. Your calendar, your email, your website management. A lot of chapters you're good in updating your website. Sometimes I call white girls and say, "What's your planning meeting?" And then they'll say, "Check your website, it's on there." So, okay, but tell me. So, you know, you need to update. And it's still posted on your website. So you need to update. So that's one of the breakout sessions is Google, emailing, and all that. Although the other one is the budget development, yeah. Hopefully tomorrow at this time, during the general session, I'll have more information on the budget. So tomorrow, when it starts, I'll focus on the budget, what we need to do, timelines, and all that. Tomorrow morning, the other one that's in your breakout is Census 2010. Then I get calls. Mr. Mitchell, how many people are over here? What's the count? I said, I don't know. It's on the internet somewhere. But that information today, the training is how to get that information. I went to one of the training in Winter Rock. I just went there, stopped, and then left. They gave some handout, and then there was one of the questions, how many people should it know? I need that information, so I logged on, and then I called Denver for some information. Then I just playing around with it. I got information. But going back, I didn't know how I got to it. I just clicked on this. You know. So today, tomorrow, those breakout sessions is how to get information. The population count is out there. And then there's other information. I don't know what information out there. They'll tell you what the information out there is. So those are information that the chapter needs to start learning how to get to. Because on the WIN system, you need to put your chapter profile in there. Because a lot of time I get called, they'll say, what's the population, what's the information? So we need to know how to get there and get those information put into your chapter profile. That way when you're applying for a grant, your information is all there. We issue a booklet, right? Chapter image book. It costs me a lot of money just to get those printed and all that. Those are good information. But we need to start putting those information ourselves into our website. So that census information is very important. So today and tomorrow, those are the training. Make sure that you attend all these training. It reflects back on me. because I have to get off-reservation travel approval. Oh, I need to have the reason why we're here is that because internet capability on Navajo, we don't have, once 10 folks log on, the system starts going down. 20 more people log on, there goes their system. But here, you know, it can probably handle 500 systems. So that's the reason why we're here. Is because of the capability of technology. All the staff. Chapter official. That way you know what's out there. That way you can just say you tell your staff it's in there somewhere, the information. You don't need to run to Window Rock, it's right there. You know, we need to start cutting those out. You still need to take some paper, but you know, you can scan it and send it. So you need to invest in the scanner. So enjoy yourself. A lot of time you're back at the office, and you know, sometimes just a little getaway, you get your energy back. Sometimes you look at in that way. That doesn't mean you have to stay out all night. MC 现在累啊，tomorrow shoot budget whatever information that I get. I know the instructions here because MC where all the breakout is and where thank you.